Hi, this is Jason Mose with InRoads Credit Union. Thank you for joining us tonight for tonight's DIY series. I will be your moderator today. DIY is a live series. We'll be mixing hands-on fun with helpful money-minded insights. So tonight we have outdoor upcycling with DIY expert Shannon Quimby. She'll be coming on stage here to walk and talk you through some of her amazing outdoor upcycled projects to help you make something cool for your house and save money at the same time. So make sure that you like and share this video. We'll be on for 1 hour from 6 to 7, and this video will also be available after the segment on our landing page with the full instructions of everything that Shannon's about to show you. So again, this week, InRoads is proud to present DIY expert Shannon Quimby. Shannon, take it away.
All right. Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be here tonight. As Jason had mentioned, yes, we are talking about upcycling outdoor DIYs. It's basically what I do all day long. It's what I've done as a career. Actually, it's what I've been doing my whole entire life. I've been DIYing before DIY was cool. But that's what I do. I repurpose, rethink, reuse common household items, right? Stuff that we have lying around because we're so wasteful. A lot of times we buy, and then, right, then you kind of drown your bank account and then you just throw it away. So I have been, like I said, DIYing my whole life. I've been saving my whole life. Actually, my first, it goes back with my dad. My dad was very crafty and worked with wood, and I would make things and sell them at our garage sale. And my dad took me down, and I opened up my very first savings account at a teacher's credit union, so which was really awesome. But anyway, so the things that I'm going to show you today, like Jason said, we have all the instructions for you. It's all good, so you don't have to be scrambling. Oh, what did I miss a step? No, don't worry about it. Oh, what's also great is that you can rewatch the video and share it over and over again. All right, so we're going to get started. So the first one, this actually was, I was inspired by this because, and I know you can relate to this, 100%. So I moved a lot growing up. We constantly were moving, you know, life happened. But one thing that we couldn't take with us was the interior door frame, which had all of my siblings and I's marks on how tall we were, right? When you're growing up, you know, it's like Shannon and the date and the age and all these marks from way down low and all the way up. And you couldn't pry it off, or even if it was on the corner of a door frame or on the wall, no, you had to leave it there. And then the next people, they just paint over it. And so I thought, well, what could we do to hold on to the memories? Because I don't know about you, but that's a pretty cherished thing. So that's what inspired me with this project. So, and you're looking at this and going, what? Yeah, that's the best thing about what I do. I take common stuff, rethink, right? Reuse. All right, so this is, you already know what this is. It's just a fence board. My neighbors right across the street were tearing down their old fence, and I love old wood. Reusing old wood is one of the simplest things that you can do to DIY. The great thing about old fence boards, they're all the same height, and the standard height is like 6 feet tall. So, which is pretty good for a youth growth chart. So I just got a board, and what I've done is I'm going to show you step by step. This is awfully tall, 6 feet. So I'm going to bring it down. So I have papers here. Jason, can we see, should I put it over here? Can you see that in camera right there?
Yeah. Okay,
great. So I've got pieces of paper covering the steps so we don't reveal them all at once, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to clean the board. So it's been outside, there's grime, there's dirt, okay? So wash it down and then let it thoroughly dry. Then just take whatever your favorite color is. Oh, back it up. If the boards were stained, right? If they were stained or if there's shiny stuff, you will need to primer them first, okay? So you definitely need to prime it. But in this case, this has been weathered in so much I don't need to. So I always use leftover paint. I reuse it, okay? A lot of times I'll go get color samplers at the paint store and it's not the right shade, but then I got all this paint. So there's this beautiful blue that I got right here, and this is really easy. That's also the great thing, you guys, about like 95% of the DIYs that I show, the salvage and the reuse, this is stuff you can do. This is easy peasy, okay? I know for a fact I haven't lost you right now. This is, right, a board and you're painting. Very simple. So so you just take it and you're just gonna paint it. So I usually takes about 2 coats because the wood really soaks up the paint. So you're gonna cover the whole board. Here's 2 right here. You cover it, I usually like to do the front and the back. And the reason why is because when I lean it up against the wall inside, the paint on the back side, if you have the exposed wood, it's gonna get dirt all over the wall and everything. So paint it both sides. All right, first step, easy, paint the board, 2 coats. Okay, I'm gonna slide it down. I'm gonna reveal. Now, the second step is you gotta use a yardstick. This is easy, or you can use a tape measure. I like to use the yardstick. For the reason is because the numbers are bigger and I can see it better. So we're gonna take a yardstick and a piece of chalk. Oh, I covered my chalk. Okay, chalk. So you gotta wait till the paint dries. Dirt, okay. We're going to then mark from one end all the way up to the other, 1 inch and I like to use the chalk instead of a pencil or a pen because then it just wipes right away. And then if you make a boo-boo, you can just smudge the chalk off and then start over. So you're just gonna go like this, and I'm gonna start up here because this is wet. So pretend this is the bottom of the board. And so I'm gonna make a mark. I'm gonna go #1 every inch because it's a youth growth chart and we're measured by inches. Yeah. You guys are like, Shannon, dirt. So just mark it 1 inch all the way from one end of the board to the next, okay? Now, when you get to, and I'm gonna mark, here we go, so like that. Now, when you get to a foot, think about how an old ruler looks, okay? So you have these, I'll lift this up and show you. See that? I just made the marks like that, all the way up. So then when I got to a foot, so which is 12 inches, like that, the next step is then I take the smaller chalk marks and I make them 1 inch, like that. So I usually make a dot. I'm showing you with the chalk so visually you could see it like so, but I would usually just do a dot, okay? Too much chalk. When you get to the 1 foot mark, make it bigger. So I would make it, here's another dot, so I do 3 inches in. So for every inch, just an inch in, like this, so forth, and then when you get to a foot, it goes 3 inches, okay? So, easy peasy, paint and chalk and a yardstick. So, then the next step is, and you can use any colors you want. I would recommend if you go with a dark base on the board, then use a lighter color for the markings, and vice versa. So if you wanted a white board, I would do like a dark blue or a dark green or black, okay? So then the next step is now what you're gonna do, I just use, this is actually just a little watercolor paintbrush from my son's old watercoloring paint set, so it's not a fancy brush, but you're going to mark, and I'm just gonna do it right here, and then I'll show you, I'll lift it up and show you, but you're gonna start painting each one of those 1 inch marks, that you made all the way up, okay? Like so. And I take the can off the lid instead of dipping the paint in the big guy like this. It's much easier to manage your paint because you're only using just a little bit. So I use the lids a lot if I'm just using a little bit of paint. So I just keep going straight like this. And then remember I was telling you about, so there's the 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. And now we got into the foot. So that's going to carry it all the way to the edge. That's the 3 feet. Now, I'm very good with lines. I can paint a straight line. I can draw a straight line. Some of you will be like, oh my gosh, I bet you I would start painting it and it'd just be like the Leaning Tower of lines, okay? Don't worry about that. You can definitely use your ruler to help yourself to line it up, okay? I got you covered, don't worry. So, with the white, you probably want to do also about 2 coats because you want it to seep in. And then you just carry that all the way up the board. So you're going to have the hash marks, the small ones, and then the foot, okay? That's the second step. Actually, that's the third step. Now, all right. So, get rid of that. See what I've done? So then in between here would be all the smaller ones. And I've made the marks. You just keep going all the way up. It's obviously a very easy pattern to follow. Through, 1 inch marks and a 3 inch mark. Now, the next step is now you want to put your number. So there's going to be, it's a 6 foot board. So on each 1 foot mark, you're going to have the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because 6 will be at the top, okay? Now, so I like to put it, and I'll even put it sideways. Ooh, gotta make sure what number I'm writing, okay? So I'm gonna do, so this would be the number 4, okay? And so I'm just going to put the number 4, like so. And I like to make it a little bit above the hash mark because when I was little, I wanted to be tall. So if I see even the 4 a little bit higher than the hash mark, I just feel taller. You know, right? Our kids, we just want to grow up so fast, you know? I mean, how many times were you measure the kid and the next day it's like, can you measure me again? I'm sure I've grown, Mom. I'm sure I have. So that's that. And then I'm going to show you at the end here. So here's the 5. So I'll lift this up. Kind of hard, okay? 4, 5, and 6. Now, here's an easy skip step. Say you're like, no way. There's no way, I can't, I don't have the steady hand to do the numbers. That's all right, I got you covered again. Just do stick on, okay? You can do stick on these. I got them at the dollar store. You can stick on your numbers. So easy, very simple. They're $1, okay? And there's plenty to use from, so this could actually be another DIY project. So that's the youth growth chart, and then you can take it with you, right? So as the kids are growing, instead of having to leave it at the house or the apartment, and look at this one. I love this one. Look at that color. Isn't that fun? So fun. And then, remember I was telling you about the light and then the dark? Look at that. Okay? So guess how much this whole thing cost? Nada. 0. Okay? I used my neighbor's wood, leftover scrap wood. I had leftover paint. It cost me nothing. Right? What are we going to create with this? Endless memories. It's something you can take with you. And it's also, you know, it's a great gift no matter what, year-round gift. So this is a really simple thing. You could even just go, hey, what's Susie's favorite colors? Okay, and then you can paint it like that. But it's a wonderful gift and it's really simple. Okay, so that's the first one.
Just a reminder, all these directions will be on our landing page. They're on there right now, actually. So for the new viewers that are tuning in, you can actually pull those from inroadscu.org/DIY and follow along, or just enjoy and watch right now and then go back and visit it later.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to worry about writing everything down. Like, was that 1 inch, 3 inches? Well, yes. Relax, have fun with this, enjoy this. Jason, I was gonna keep this as a surprise. I'm just gonna give a little hint. So FYI, this DIY, just gonna say it's gonna be featured in a national magazine next year. I can't tell you now, but guess what? We're gonna tie it in with InRoads. So it's gonna be something fun to reveal. I can't share now, but I will later, I promise. Okay.
You guys are seeing it here first.
I know, isn't that cool?
That's cool.
It's so cool. Okay. All right, I'm gonna clear the table. Now, so the next one, I'm gonna get rid of all of this. Scoot this all out of the way. Okay. What is this? It's a doorknob. Yes. I'm sure you have doorknobs, correct? In your house or your apartment. I have never met somebody that does not live with a doorknob, unless you live in a tent, maybe a yurt. I get it, no worries. But I love old doorknobs. I love old hardware. But guess what? A lot of times when people remodel, okay, that's one of the simplest ways that you can update and freshen up with very little money, which is a really good idea, is with your hardware. So FYI, that is something to write down. You can change your lights, you can change your drawer pulls, you can change your door hardware, a really simplistic and very affordable way to remodel without breaking the bank, okay? Now, but I don't like throwing stuff away, I like to reuse it. So the older doorknobs like this one, I'm not gonna paint over it. This is another painting project, and it's outdoors. So, but what do you do with like the cheap ones, right? The cheap, like the no value doorknobs. Well, in the Pacific Northwest, it does rain a lot, and our gardens don't have a lot of color year round. And so I was thinking, what can we do to have year-round color that in the summer doesn't need to be watered, because I am kind of lazy in the garden, but in the winter it has it's kind of fresh and fun. So you're probably going, where are you going with this, Shannon? You were talking about doorknobs and hardware just a second ago, and now you're talking about year-round flowers. All right, so yes, I am. So doorknobs, and I'm going to show you a couple extra little things. So I'm going to get my stuff going here. Okay, so you can use twigs, a dowel. I have old rebar. You can use old metal stakes and glue. So once again, you're going, what? Okay, I'm going to grab this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take, here's a crusty old doorknob. This was nasty, okay? And then this was just a metal stake I had lying around. This is literally a twig from my garden. You want to take the doorknob and paint it a color. Once again, I'm always using paint I already have. I love this color. This is a Miller paint color, by the way. I'm not plugging them, but you gotta give them credit when it's a beautiful color. Yeah, this is called Miniature Posy. It's one of my faves. So I've already painted this, but it's very simple. Oh, I missed a step. The reason I brought the glue out, and I really like this E6000, I like the tip, because when you have it in tubes, it kind of goes all over the place. So what you want to do on the doorknob you're going to use, you put the glue inside like this, and then if you're going to use like this wood dowel, like that, or even a stick, like that. That's kind of cool, because then it really does look like a flower, okay? But whatever you have, you can use, but definitely use the glue. And then dry it upside down, like this. Don't dry it standing up, because then all the glue comes pouring out of the bottom, okay? Then they're done that. Ugh. Now, all right, So this one I glued to a stake, and then all I did is I took that paint and I painted it this color. Pretty, huh? Pretty nice. Took 2 coats. I love this color. Now, really pretty color. Let's get this stuff out of the way. So now the next step is I got some more colors for you. Once again, stuff that I got lying around the house. I have a lot of paint. Isn't that pretty? So I use 4 colors for this. You don't have to use 4 colors. I just always have a boatload of paint lying around, okay? So you can use 2 colors. You say, I don't even have any paint. Don't worry. Contact me through Facebook. I'll hook you up with paint, okay? Everybody's got too much paint. A lot of times people throw that away too, all right? So let's reuse our paint. So now that we've got the doorknob on the stake, it's dried, it's glued, okay? So I'm gonna start in the center. So I like this pretty blue. And once again, I like to use the lids because I'm not using a lot of paint. So I just take, once again, this is it's called a 1-inch watercolor paintbrush, but I just take the paintbrush and I put it in the center like this and I swirl it. I give it a swirl. See where I'm going with that? I'm making a nice big circle. Okay, now, is my circle perfect? No. Is my circle a little rough on the edges? Yes. Why? Because I'm DIYing, okay? I'm not buying it, I'm doing it. So, and that's the beauty about flowers, right? All flowers aren't perfect. We all have flaws. They're all different. Look at that.
Shannon, can you tell us a little bit about the DIY police?
Yes. I always say, this is kind of one of my go-tos. It's like, you know what? It doesn't matter if you think you messed up, because guess what? The DIY police is never going to show up and give you a ticket. Trust me. Okay? Yeah. Because that's part of, a lot of people like, oh, I'm just not creative, Shannon. I don't know. I don't think I can do it. I'm afraid to do it. Okay? All right. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty about all of these, is that you made it with love and you made it from your heart, and there's all imperfection. We're all imperfect, okay? You know, I get it. Perfection looks up to me. Yes. You know? No. Okay. So there's that one. Then I just grabbed another color, and so that's the center of, I'm making flowers, by the way. Okay. Then I take another paintbrush and I just go around, and these are my petals. And I just blop it like that all the way around the outer edge of the doorknob. Okay?
And again, if you guys have questions or comments, feel free to put them down below, and we'll answer as we're going along.
Oh, definitely. I love to chit chat. I would be happy to hear from you, 100%. Okay, so there you go with that. I'm gonna set it in there to dry. So then the last step, and so I've already got one done. Okay, so this one's dried. Oh, I did it reverse. No worries. The DIY police isn't gonna show up and go, excuse me, your circle is the wrong color. No, once again, that's the beauty about flowers, right? They're all different. So this one's all dry. So, oops, I gotta get the paint. So, you know when you have those pencils and the eraser gets all crusty and hard? Or you keep how many of you open the junk drawer right now, you have a pencil with no eraser, but you just can't throw the pencil away? Isn't that funky? That is so funky, fun, weird, that we throw so much stuff away, but by golly, we have so many pens and pencils. We don't want to throw those away. Oh my goodness. So I need a paint can opener on this. I'll use, hold up.
So Vanessa's asking, what kind of paint are you using?
Yeah, you know what I use? Whatever I got lying around the house. So some of these are actually color samplers. So there's no sheen to them. This one is flat. This is flat. This one is a semi-gloss, okay? These are all interior. I just happen to have all interior colors because I do a lot of, I like to change up the wall colors all the time, or to accent with furniture. So, but you can use acrylics. I don't use oil because it's bad for the environment. Plus, it takes forever to clean up, okay? So, the eraser, and once again, I just use the lid, and I'm going to, I dip the eraser into the paint, because that's what we all do, right? You know. And then I just make dots in the center of the circle. How many dots? Whatever you want. However many you want. That's okay. That's what's great about DIY. This is a really fun, this is a very fun wine night, by the way, DIY. I love to do this with my girlfriends because we all make something and create something, and at the end, we have fun. So there's that. Now I made a whole bunch of them. Now bring it up.
So again, for the people that are just joining us, Shannon took old doorknobs and made them into decorative flowers.
Look.
Mind blown.
Look, see? Look at all these fun colors. Isn't that fantastic? And I just plopped them. So these are all scattered in my garden. Year round. Year round. The best thing. Do you have to water them? No. Is it a punch of color? Yes. Especially during the winter time when everything's drab and so forth. Of course. It also gives height to a plant. So even some of in the summertime when I have some flowers, some big potted plants and potted baskets, I'll wedge these in there also. But once again, we're recycling, we're reusing common household items. These are just old doorknobs. And then I had them on some metal stakes, but like I said, you can do a dowel, you can literally do a stick. I've done with sticks and they've lasted for years. I plop them in the garden. I use them to stake up some of my taller flowers. A lot of my, my black-eyed Susans, they'll fall over, and I'll take these stakes and kind of wedge it up and put this, the black-eyed Susans. Now, here's a fun one too. These are flowers. Well, what if you painted them all like orange and did like jack-o'-lanterns on the top? Right? What if then it was the holidays and you did a whole bunch of red ones and you just stuck them in the grass? It's just, once again, that's the beauty about DIYing, is that there's no cap to creativity. Zero. And then you can reuse the same stake, just paint it a different color, okay? Easy, easy, easy. So simple. Like I said, we have the instructions for you. I'm going to move this out, okay? Once again, also really fun gifts. These are really fun gifts to have and to give them away. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. Oh, here's another one. I'll just poke that in there. Okay, obviously I like making these because I make them all the time, as you can see. All right. Ooh. There we go. All right, I'm going to move this paint out of the way because I am known for always spilling paint. Yes, that's not fun. Nope, especially the gallon of red paint in the back of my rig just recently. Yes, that's what happens when you rush and you don't put the lid on. Oy, oy, oy. Oh, okay, so we got 2 already. Okay, how much did this cost? Zero. Okay, I've sold these. I sell these at my garage sale. I literally make money from nothing, and then I put it in my savings account. One of the things that I like to do every year is, times are tight right now, very tight financially. I like to make stuff and I like to sell it at my garage sale every year, and I take that money and I put it in literally a special DIY savings account. That's what I do. And I don't touch it. And that's my vacation fund. And so whether it's a couple $100 or if it builds up, then that is literally my DIY vacation. And I maybe go down to the coast for a weekend, or depending if I have a banner garage sale, which I usually do, you know, I can go on a trip. But once again, that's what I like to do. I like to make something from nothing, literally, and then I like to save it and put it in my savings account. Okay, so we did 2. We got 2 more. How's everybody doing? We're doing good, huh? Yes. I'm gonna leave this here. Okay, now, so we're all talking. This is all like outdoor stuff. Let me get rid of this. So, this is, I'm sure you know what these are. Yes, they're apples. You're going, well, Shannon, how do you recycle apples? Okay, well, I don't recycle apples, but this is a really fun outdoor DIY project that doesn't cost anything either, okay? So, and right now, with the seasons changing, this is a really good, once again, all of these projects you can do year round, but it's a really simple and extremely affordable way to decorate for a gathering. So, apples are the first thing you need, okay? Let me get my stuff. So you need 2 apples. Actually, you need 4 apples, but for this particular one, I'm going to show you with the 2, and then I'll tell you why you need the 4. So you're going to need 4 apples. You're going to need some twine. And do I have? Oh, yep. I'm so organized that I wedged it up there like that. So apples, twine. I like to use a skewer. Okay. You can get this at the grocery store. They come in a packet. It's just, you know, I like to use the skewer, the bamboo skewers. I've used sticks or other things and they break, and I like the point. So you have that. And then you go in that junk drawer, okay, next to the pencils that have no erasers, or the erasers are so hard they don't erase, and you find a pen that you still haven't thrown away, but you don't like how it writes. We got those too, okay, right? You have your favorite pens and you're like, if this person doesn't give me back this pen, that's okay. Okay. So a pen you don't care about, and some twigs, and some pliers. I know, right? What in the world? This is classic Shannon right here. Classic. What are we do with pliers and pens and apples and twine? That's an outdoor reusable DIY. Okay, so I'm going to show you. The first thing you want to do is you want to take the stem off the apple. That's the first thing, okay? So, easy, okay? Take the stem off the apple. Then at the top, you're going to take the skewer and you're going to start to push into the apple. Now, you want to don't just try to jab it right away, because your goal is to have it go through the end, not rip off to one side, off to that side. And that will happen. You'll be like, what the heck? Now I got it coming out this direction. So I just start a little bit this way, and then I'll kind of go to, not kind of, I do. So then I go to the bottom of it and I do the same thing, okay? And you just, with the point of the bamboo skewer. That's why I'm saying I like the bamboo skewers, because they're really durable. They won't break. And you just keep pushing it until it goes all the way through from one end to the other, like that. Okay? Now, I love this DIY. I've been doing this one for years. The one thing that I have changed, which has made it much easier on you and me, is I want the hole to be a little bit bigger, okay? And how do I do that? That's where the crusty, yucky pen that doesn't write very well comes in, okay? So then you take your pen and then you're gonna put it through the hole. Now, if you started with, say, I'm just gonna start with a pen, Shannon. I'm not gonna do a skewer, just gonna do the pen. Good luck with that, okay? Let me know how that goes. It will not be easy. So you start with a smaller hole, okay? And then you go with the pen. Now, I'm unable to, even when I have the hole, with the smaller hole like this, I can't forcibly put that pen all the way through. So I cheat and I just go like that. And it does, and it comes all the way through. Now, What I can't do, once again, I can't get it. I can't get this out, right? It's like, okay, we're having caramel apples with pens. Yeah, no. So that's where the pliers come in. So I just take these and I grip it like that. Okay? So simple. I made it simple for you. Okay? Instead of me messing it up all the time. It's okay to mess up a few times. That's the beauty about this, because it didn't cost us anything. Okay? So now the hole's bigger all the way through. Then, so I'm going to get this out of the way. Okay? This is where your twine comes in. Let's move these apples over here. So, this is a big, huge table. I got a little mini table to show you. I'm going to get it for you. Here's my mini table, right here, with my tablecloth, aka a dish towel. So, think of this as a big table. So we're outside, we're entertaining, okay? Small groups, socially distancing apart, okay? So here's where the twine comes in. So think of this as a big table. This is miniature version. You want to measure 2 pieces of twine that's going to go over the end of the table. And be generous. You can have it go all the way to the ground if you want to. Think of this as the ground. So you're going to cut 2 pieces. Okay? Let me get this out of the way. Oh no, I need the skewer. So, the reason I like the bigger with the pen that I made with the bigger holes, because you're going to take the skewer and you're going to put the twine over the top of the apple, over that hole, and then you push the twine right through it, like that. That's the reason you want to do the bigger hole with the pen, because if you do the smaller hole, the twine gets all, it's like threading a needle with the tiniest little hole in the needle and the biggest thickness of thread, and you're like, forget about it, I can't even do it. Okay? So, like so. All right? Then here's these, the twigs that I was telling you about. So, just some twigs. I break it off about 1 inch long. You're gonna need 4 of them. Okay? How much did this cost me? Nada. So, we have an apple. It's on the bottom, came out the bottom of the apple. You're going to tie the twine around the center of the broken twig. What I'm doing is I'm creating an anchor so the apple won't slide through the twine. Easy, easy, easy. And I like to make a double knot. Okay? So, that's what you do. Here we go. Like so. Then you want to do the same step. You're going to repeat it. You put the twine with the flat side of the skewer over the top of the apple, and it's going to come out on the bottom. See how easy that is? So much easier when you have a larger opening. And then you have that second broken twig, and you're going to do, oh, I missed a big step. Measure your table, so it's going to be hanging down there. Remember, this is the miniature version of your table. You go around and like, it's going to hang there. So that's where I want the bottom of the apple. It's good to have extra twine, just like when you thread a needle and then you're sewing and you don't have enough to tie the knot off. Okay? Same concept. So I'll start that over again. So I'm going to do this, wedge it through, like so. Okay? And then I'm going to hang that over. I'm going to hang it so on the seat so you can see it the front side. Like, okay, right there. That's where the bottom is. Now, did I get a tape measure out? No. Is it something that's easy to do? Yes. Is the DIY police going to show up and say, I'm sorry, that twine is just a little bit longer than the other one? No. No. So, you tie another knot, you double knot it, and then if you've got some extra twine left over on the end, you just snip it off with the scissors. And I'm gonna do this. Now, I like to use the twine versus say string, because the apple juices, when you push, especially like the white string, when you push the string through the apple juice, it's kind of nasty looking. So do a twine, okay? It's like when you remodel your kitchen and you put white grout in it. Yeah, looks great to begin with, but then over the years it kind of is not. So I'm gonna cut, where's my scissors? What did I do with my scissors? Oh, here they are. So put that around like so. I got a little extra on the bottom and I cut that off. Check that out. Now, remember I said that we had to have 4 of them? Well, because you have to do the other end. So here's one that's done. Oh my gosh. Jason, I just had a kid toy flashback. I'm older than you, Jason, but there was this knocker blockers. Are they knocker blockers?
Blockers.
Where they, I think I'm messing it up. Where, right? They go like this.
Yeah.
And then you're like this, and then you mess up and it hits you and be like, oh my god, I just made. Are they knocker blockers?
We'll research this.
Okay, great, yeah. So you make 2 of them because you put it on the end. So these are called, I call them my apple weights. So if it's a little windy outside, it stops the tablecloth from blowing over. Now, you want to make it lower than the apron of the table, because you don't want the apples sticking out while people are sitting there. But once again, how much did that cost me? Apples, and some twine. So simple, so fun. You can do, and the thing is, say you like to do your color theme, you can do green apples. You could do limes. You could do lemons. I wonder if you could do orange. I probably. It'd be kind of juicy, messy, but I bet you could. But anyway, that's what I love doing. I love to do actually a lot of DIYs with apples because they're so pretty and they're so easy to use, and everybody has apples. Everybody has apples, especially in the Pacific Northwest right now. The choice of apples is something else. So there we go. So we've got the youth growth chart that is actually, it's inside, but the beauty of, I'm calling this an outdoor DIY, is because we can take it with us outside. We have the year-round doorknob flowers, and then we also have our apple weights. So those are 3. Pennies, cost pennies, recycled, reused, okay? Now,
so Vanessa's chimed in and says there's a song about that toy. It was penned by the late great Chuck Berry. And yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit of research to find out what the actual name of that toy is.
Oh, I know. So you know what I'm talking about then, don't you? Right? Like yes, mine were a nice seafoam blue. Mine were. Yes, I wish I would have kept those. All right. So the last one I have is just flower pots. Just a standard terracotta flower pot. This one's nice and shiny new, but I love, I don't know why, I must be addicted to flower pots. I have so many just terracotta flower pots. I actually have a whole bunch of them. I have so many of them that I have them upside down under a tree. They're scattered all around, like around the base of the tree, and I paint them all different colors. Once again, that's a way to add a punch of color year round. But this is a fun one, where once again, I'm doing paint. I'm doing a lot of paint. Boy, 3 out of the 4 is paint tonight. So this is a pretty color too. This is a color sampler. Somebody mentioned earlier what kind of color you use. This is literally a color that I wanted to put in my son's bedroom, and he didn't like it. It's like, so thank gosh I just got the color sampler, which was just a few bucks versus going and getting a whole gallon, which is 35 to 50 bucks. So the first thing on this one and I'm going to show you the end, is you just paint the flower pot. I tell you, if I can paint it, I'll, if it can hold paint, I will paint it. I look with my DIY eyes, everything's like a blank canvas to me. How can I add color to it? How can I add flair to it? How can I put the Shannon Quimby mark on it? But once again, just like all of these DIYs, very easy to do. So you're going to cover the flower pot with a color. You need 2 colors. You don't have to go all the way up, and I'll show you why in a minute, okay? So, like so, until, and you don't have to do the bottom if you don't want to. I don't do the bottom. I'm gonna put it on a block, okay, like that. So, that's the first step. Probably 2 coats. Definitely 2 coats. So, then you need painter's tape. Now, you can use the blue, you can use the frog, which is the green, then they have the yellow, and they have the orange. They're all for different types of surfaces. The green and the orange, I forget what the orange is used for. I've used it, darn it. But anyway, it gets more expensive. Also, FYI, if you do invest in the better painter's tape, like the frog tape, the green, the orange, and yellow, they come in containers. This is a little DIY tip. The painter's tape that comes in containers, keep them in the containers, okay? It's not just a marketing ploy or branding. The tape is very moist, extremely moist. And if you take it out of the container, it's gonna dry up. Yeah, you're probably going, yeah, I get it. So on the old tape that I have, that's out like that tan stuff, and I try to pull it off, and it just kind of rips in a whole bunch of pieces. Yeah, it's dried out. So even this tape, I like to put it in a Ziploc plastic bag. Keeps it moist. So I know I went off on a tangent, but I just saved you a lot of money, didn't I? Just totally did right there. So you're going to take the painter's tape, and you're going to wrap it all the way around. Now, notice this looks like a skirt, okay? So, because if you just start wrapping it, I'll go lower. If you start going around, it's going to be at an angle. It's not going to work. So what you want to do is you want to pull the tape taut all around on the top edge, and that's going to get it straight all the way across. So that's why it's bubbly down here, because I've pulled it. That's what's the beauty about using the tape, is that it has some flexibility in it because it has moisture. So that's the second step. Now, you're gonna love this tip. How many times have you done lines with paint on walls, or those of you that maybe would paint a line on a furniture or tabletop, or even artwork, and it bleeds through the tape? And they say, oh, it won't bleed through the tape. No, but you do when you press it, and you do everything you're supposed to do, and then you peel it off, and it still is bled. All right, I'm gonna show you a tip. You take that same color. So here's the tape that I've gone all the way around. The same base color, and you're just going to go all the way around like that, the top edge. Now, why do you think that? Well, because notice what I'm doing. I'm sealing the edge of the tape to the same color. Because the next step, actually it's the step after that, is when I paint over it, it's gonna peel off nice and crisp. I know. Where have I been all your life? When all of you that have been painting all of these lines and the paint and it bled through the tape, like, this is all I had to do? Yes, that's all you had to do. So that's why you tuned in tonight. Okay? It's not just about how to do the DIY, but how to do it efficient and how to save money and how to turn out just by doing that. Really simple and easy. I'm gonna throw that away. I didn't throw it away, I just put it in the water. I know, I caught myself. Okay, now the next step is, whoopsie, and I need, where's that blue? There it is. All right, I'm gonna put the green aside. Okay, like so. So the next step is I get these, so remember I said I'm good with lines? Well, this is a much easier thing to do. So I get these stickers, these letter stickers. Once again, you can get it at any craft store. I got these at the dollar store, and they have a whole bunch of them in one packet. I'm just pulling one out right here. You can get it at a big craft store. It's just a few bucks, okay? So right on this edge, I took the letters and I spelled out basil. Now you know where I'm going with this. Now I did it right on the edge. I know it's hard to see because what did I do? I did this technique. So I painted over that so you can't see the blue, and then I let it dry, and then I put my letters. I put my sticky letters right there. So that's that step. Then I take another color, move this aside like so you can see. So I'm gonna get my other color out. Another pretty, I love this blue. Blue's my favorite color. So then after that, then you take your second color and you're gonna paint it all the way around above that painter's tape line, and I take it all the way to the top, like so, all the way around. And I do like to go around the edge like that, okay? And then you're also gonna go right over the letters. You're like, what? I know, I'm living on the edge. It's crazy talk, crazy talk. So all the way around, like so. Oh, this is classic. Look what I did. I dripped some blue paint. Uh-oh. Done, messed up. No, let it dry and just paint the green over it, okay? So that's better than smearing it, by the way, okay? So you take that all the way around like that, go all the way. You probably need, same thing, like 2 coats. And you let it dry. Then, when you're done, you take, and this is still wet. This is stuck in here. Seriously, right? I took a T-pin. So you can use any type of stick pin. So you let it get a little sticky. Don't let it dry completely, just enough so it's a little sticky. And then what you're gonna do is you find your letters that you painted over, and you take a little bit of that, and that's what's gonna pull the letters off. Because your fingernail, it's gonna mess up the paint, because your fingernail's not gonna get so tight in that. So that's why it's really good to use like a stick pin. And you want to, so I can see the B on this, but it's too wet. So it will bleed, okay? And then it's going to turn out like this. I'll show you. Ta-da! So fun, so simple. Isn't that so pretty? I love that. And you can do basil, you can do thyme, you can do rosemary, you can do sage. The great thing about this is that this is beautiful outside, but you can also bring it inside and put it on your kitchen, right on your ledge above the sink, and let it, and have your own indoor garden that was outside. But this is really fun for those of you that don't have a garden. You live in an apartment, you might live in a condo, okay? And you don't want the big huge pots. This is a simple one. It's fun, it's decorative, it's easy, it's very inexpensive, and it's kind of like a modern twist to it. It's a modern twist to just painting letters and numbers. And see, that's when and I took the little edge there. That's when I pried off those letters and pulled it off. And see that nice crisp line? No bleeding, because I sealed it with the paint. So, there you have it. So we have got the youth growth charts that you can carry with you forever and ever. We've got the doorknob flowers that are, water-free and add a splash of color year-round. We have the apple weights, simple, easy, prevents the tablecloth from blowing away. And then we also have the really fun pots, the decorative DIY pots. Once again, this is something that you can share. This is something you can do as a family. This is something you can do by yourself in front of the TV at night. Yes, which I do on a regular basis. And the thing is, you can gift it to yourself, you can gift it to a friend, you can gift it to a neighbor, and you don't have to wait for a special occasion. Don't wait for a special occasion. That's the best thing if you want to do a gift. Surprise them. Surprise them. But anyway, I had so much fun with you, and I think I spent just pennies on this. Do we have any feedback, any questions, or you guys are just like, oh, this is golden?
Well, I think everyone thinks it's golden. We have lots of great viewers, but I just want to thank you, Shannon. You're amazing. I never in a million years, especially would have thought of doorknobs becoming flowers. My mind's blown with that project. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or feedback, comments for Shannon, make sure that you put them down in the comments below. Because we just went through 4 projects in less than an hour, which is pretty amazing. All these projects will be loaded on our landing page, which is inroadscu.org/DIY. They're actually up there right now. This video will stay on Facebook, so you can reference it on Facebook. It will also be uploaded to the landing page along with those instructions, so you guys can check those out there. Follow along. If you have any questions about materials to use or whatever, it's all spelled out in those instructions. So yeah, we just have some comments coming through that said fun and thank you, Shannon.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes. You know what would also be fun, Jason? You guys should make some of these and share them on the InRoads Facebook page. I think wouldn't that be fun? Like your version of, your own apple weights or your painted pots or your doorknob flower pots or your growth chart.
That's a great idea.
I would love to see your inspiration of what you create, because I'm inspired. I'm inspired all the time with somebody that changes something up into something else. That's the beauty about DIYing also, is that there is no cap. There's no cap to creativity. And so you're always learning from everybody and engaging with everybody. That's the best part right there. Yep.
Vanessa says she paints rocks. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been painting rocks since I was 4. That was one of actually my very first painting projects. And I was sick. I remember I was so sick and I was bored, and my mom went out and we just gathered a whole bunch of rocks and we just painted these rocks. And then I, to this day, love to paint rocks just like you do. I paint designs on them, I paint words on them, or I just paint them colors. Definitely. So simple, right? It's never too old. You're never too old to DIY. Never.
Well, that's just proof that you've been a DIY expert since you were 4 years old. So, well, again, everyone, thank you for tuning in. That's all for tonight. Thanks again to Shannon Quimby, DIY expert and stylist. Be sure to check inroadscu.org/DIY for today's DIY instructions, the video, and the links to the next DIY in the series. And again, from all of us at InRoads, please stay safe and healthy.